Here's the truth. Dark academia didn't start on TikTok. It stalked out of 19th century literature in a black coat, arms full of Greek, dripping candle wax on the library floor. If you love the secret history, you're already in debt to Shelley, Stevenson, Wilde, and a dozen Victorians who built the syllabus. Today I'm tracing the family tree, motifs, buildings, crimes, straight back to the 19th century, and I'm naming names. Quick frame. Dark academia is the romance of the mind turned feral. Knowledge chased past sanity, elite schools that feel like monasteries, Gothic weather, classical quotation, cliques with rituals, and a body or two by the end. Every one of those beats has a 19th century ancestor. Start with the scholar who flies too close. Goethe's Faust is the prototype, a learned man who bargains away his soul for more knowing. Then Mary Shelley aims it at a campus. Victor Frankenstein is a university student at Ingolstadt, dazzled by lectures on electricity, who tells us plainly, "Learn from me. How dangerous is the acquirement of knowledge." That's dark academia before dark academia, the dorm room as laboratory, the essay as experiment, and the experiment going very wrong. Late in the century, Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll distills the same hubris into a London lab, reputation up front, monster in the wings. And across the channel, Dostoevsky hands the theme a knife. Raskolnikov, a poor student with a theory, commits a murder to prove an idea. Intellectual obsession plus crime, that's the core mechanic of the modern genre. But dark academia also has a building, the Gothic. Early Gothic novels, Walpole's The Castle of Otranto, Radcliffe's Haunted Corridors, gave readers ruined arches and restless staircases. The 19th century then installs that aesthetic right on campus. Oxford and Cambridge raise neo-Gothic halls and quadrangles. Keble College's harsh red brick, the Oxford Museum's iron and stone, medieval on purpose. Matthew Arnold looks at Oxford and coins the line every dark academia fan should know, that sweet city with her dreaming spires. In the US, the collegiate Gothic wave crowns Yale and Princeton with spires and gargoyles. So, when a modern novel sets a midnight chase through a rain-polished quad, it's not just mood. Architects built the set for exactly that mood. Remember John Ruskin's pathetic fallacy. Stormy weather to mirror stormy minds. Dark academia lives there. Now the taste, the aesthetic. Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray worships art and antiquity with a straight face and a shiver. Walter Pater, Oxford aesthete, told students to burn with a hard gem-like flame. That sentence is basically the dark academia mission statement for the pursuit of beauty. And the curriculum matters. 19th century Oxford prized greats, classics, above all. Students memorized Greek chorus lines at breakfast. Charismatic tutors like Benjamin Jowett shaped generations with Plato on their lips. That's the model for the mesmerizing professor who becomes a sect leader in campus fiction. We see the skeleton of Julian Morrow from The Secret History right there. And don't skip the secret society thread. Real schools had them. The Cambridge Apostles in the 1820s, Skull and Bones at Yale in the 1830s. Oaths, rituals, intellectual elitism. Gothic revival outside, esoteric rites inside. A dark academia clique is just an apostles' meeting with darker lighting. What about the crimes? The Victorians turned scholarship into danger halls long before modern thrillers. Poe gives us the scholar in his study at midnight dreary, poring over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore and unraveling. Wilkie Collins and the sensation novel fed readers forged letters, missing heirs, secret identities. Medical schools fueled real horror. The Burke and Hare murders of 1828 in Edinburgh supplied bodies to anatomy lectures. Academia and death were literally in business together. Then the detective writers move in. Arthur Conan Doyle sends Holmes to a university college in The Adventure of the Three Students for an exam scandal. M.R. James, Cambridge Dawn, writes ghost stories about Dawn's unsealing cursed manuscripts in dusty libraries. Sheridan Le Fanu's Green Tea leaves a scholar haunted by what he's read. And the narrative trick dark academia loves, the found document, the nested confession, comes straight from 19th century frames. Frankenstein's letters, Jekyll's final statement, the turn of the screw, read aloud from a manuscript. The form is the omen. School settings? They're older than you think. Tom Brown's School Days makes the English boarding school a literary landscape. Charlotte Bronte's Villette puts a teacher in a haunted classroom and keeps the reader guessing. Henry James turns the volume up on Dread around a governess and two pupils in The Turn of the Screw. By century's end, the school is a sealed world where rumors breed, hierarchies harden, and innocence is a performance. Here's what people forget. The patron saint of doomed scholarly labor isn't Frankenstein. It's Casaubon in George Eliot's Middlemarch, an aging antiquarian chasing his key to all mythologies and finding only dust. Dark academia borrows his tragedy of wasted study as often as it borrows Shelley's lightning, also neglected. Thomas de Quincey's Confessions of an English Opium Eater, which turns reading into intoxication and London into a labyrinth of ideas. And Muriel Sparks' The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie gifts the genre its most dangerous teacher, a charismatic classicist molding a hand-picked clique. No corpse required, the mind control is chilling enough. Midway check. Which ancestor feels truer to you, the wild romantic experimenter or the slow, suffocating Victorian pedant? Hold that thought. The 20th century paves the last stretch to Tartt. E. M. Forster's Cambridge novels and Evelyn Waugh's Brideshead revisited Crown Oxford with gold light and melancholy. Waugh gives us the line of longing that powers the aesthetic. If it could only be like this always, always summer, always alone, the fruit always ripe. Dorothy Sayers' Gaudy Night sets a mystery in an Oxford women's college and treats scholarship as an ethical calling under siege. John Knowles' A Separate Piece puts rivalry and guilt into a New England boarding school and watches friendship fracture. And one more node worth naming. Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose turns a medieval monastery library into a murderous maze. If you like cursed catalogs and Latin marginalia, that's your Rosetta Stone. Then Donna Tartt fuses it all. The Secret History gives us an elite New England college, a hand-picked classics clique, a guru professor, Greek tragedy studied so hard it leaks into the bloodstream, and a murder done under the sign of Euripides. The characters live Pater and Wilde out loud, quoting in Greek, chasing beauty as if it were a sacrament. Beauty is terror, the professor says, and the Gothic's old chill walks back onto campus with a new ID card. After Tartt, the lineage keeps stepping forward. If We Were Villains swaps Greek for Shakespeare, but keeps the closed troupe, the performance of self, and the fatal script. Babel sets philology in 1830s Oxford, interrogates empire, and stages the library as battleground. The historian, Ninth House, and Miss Pym disposes all raid the older Gothic larder. Forbidden archives, occult societies, rooms where scholarship ends and something colder begins. And for the American Gothic campus, Lovecraft adds a notorious extra credit, Miskatonic University and its lethal reading list. So where did dark academia come from? From Shelley's lab bench and Arnold's spires, from Wilde's mirror and James's manuscript, from real secret societies and stonework that pretends it's medieval. The genre isn't a trend, it's a revival. Every time a student in a blazer whispers Latin under their breath and walks into the rain, you can hear the Victorians turning a page. Your turn. Who is the truest ancestor of dark academia? Victor Frankenstein, Casaubon, or Raskolnikov? Or did I miss your favorite forebear? Drop it in the comments and make your case. If you enjoyed this, join us for more. Until next time, keep your candles lit and your prefaces loaded.